Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank you, the chairman, for his leadership on this bill and bringing it through regular order. We continue that around here, and yet this particular bill. But before the gentleman from Massachusetts leaves, I think it's important that we address this, because what happens here is, as the gentleman would indicate, he's making this out to be all about big banks. But it's really about the small business folks and truly about the municipalities. And so I want to read a few excerpts from the resolution that comes from his home state, from Massachusetts, because they got together and they said, you know, this is a real problem. It says, whereas the federal government has imposed additional requirements based on incomplete scientific analysis and review on the cities and towns of Massachusetts, you know, they want, in this resolution, Mr. Speaker, it talks about going further, that at a minimum what we should do is provide a, quote, a fiscal note included as part of any such proposal. So it's the towns and the counties across the country. And yes, indeed, from the gentleman, my esteemed friend from Massachusetts, a resolution from his state that talks about the problems that we have with unfunded mandates. Mr. Speaker, over 850 major pieces of regulation with impacts of over $100 million apiece have failed this basic principle and test. 75% of them never get the analysis that we should be doing as a federal government. We have a responsibility to the local towns and governments, but also a responsibility, Mr. Speaker, to farmers. I left a hearing today with the EPA and an unfunded mandate. And who are they consulting with? The Department of Agriculture, not farmers from across this great country. They're bureaucrats. It's time that we bring the private sector in, and I think it's time that we stand alongside them, and I thank the chairman for his leadership. I yield back.
Gentleman from North Carolina.